Just a question for the panel. Can your support system ever sabotage your relationship? Can your support system ever sabotage your relationship? I'm gonna go ahead and start with you first, Casey. What are your thoughts about that?
How did I feel that you were coming to me? That was crazy. Um, yes. Your support system can sabotage your relationship, and that goes for close friends, family, and or parents. I really do feel bad for people who are in serious relationships or in marriages, and they are surrounded by people who don't have wisdom when it comes to just being self-regulated, and also know and have some wisdom and knowledge when it comes to long-term relationships and marriages. Some people who have wisdom with just giving good sound advice for the long term, and people who don't speak into emotional temporary feelings of arguments and situations that that couple may be in currently. It's very, very important, because depending on where you are in your life, you're going to be more of a sponge to the people that you love, and you're going to care about their opinion of you, and how you deal with your relationships or marriages. So you're going to hold weight at different ages and stages in your life, possibly a little differently. So it's just really important that your support system, that they are not playing into whatever emotional situation that you could be in, that the reason that you could be asking for some advice. I'll land it there and I'll come back to it.
All right. Go ahead, Precious.
I believe your support system can sabotage your relationship if you let them. You have to have clear boundaries with people, and a lot of times that does include your family, because your family can want what they want for you, and it might not be the right thing for you. Of course, we would like to look towards our family to help us make certain decisions, but at the end of the day, when you're an adult and you're in it, you know what you're dealing with. Your family don't necessarily know what you're dealing with. That's why even Hank, with that super chat that he left about Jada telling the marital business. You know, they say that when you tell your family what's going on with you and your spouse, you know, when y'all over it, your family is still mad. Your family still got, you know, resentment, or your family still got an opinion about that other person. So you have to be careful what you share with your family. You have to be careful how you let them in to your relationship, and they shouldn't even be in your relationship. You should be your support system. They should be the extremities if necessary. You know, when you get married, you leave your home. You leave and cleave. That's what you're supposed to do. So you now create your own family. You create your own rules, but you have to create boundaries with the people that's been in your life, because you can't allow them to come in and sabotage your relationship. And then you got kids, you got, you know, other people that are in the situation. You have to protect that. And so allowing, you know, your support system to come in and sabotage that is only going to, you know, honestly leave you alone.
Okay. Go ahead, Cloud Jones.
Yeah, I would agree that your support system can, sabotage your relationship if you allow it them to. But I would say that's not a really good support system. Someone in the chat actually said something that stood out to me, Erica. She said, "Isn't your relationship supposed to be your support system?" And I think that's valid, because like when you're in a relationship and you've decided, yo, this is the person I'm committing to, I think at that point that person is supposed to be your support system. So if you're truly functioning in a space where your partner is your support system, then it would be impossible for anybody else to sabotage your relationship, because why are you going to anybody else to talk about what y'all need to talk about anyway? If you're having a problem with your spouse, then you need to talk to your spouse about it. You know what I mean? Like talking to your homie or your cousin or your aunt, your uncle, whatever. That's not going to help your relationship, because they're not in that relationship with that person, and they don't know the nuances of what y'all go through. It's much better to deal with that person directly, and a lot of times it's a lack of communication skills that force people to end up seeking support outside of the relationship. They don't know how to talk to their person. And so they're hoping that by talking to someone else, they might show them how to talk. But in reality, they just need to work on their communication skills and communicate directly with that person. And I think that if they're using that person as the support system, nothing can go wrong in that scenario.
All right. Go ahead, Shonda.
I agree. So your support system can interfere with your relationships. I've always been that person that kind of kept to myself when it came to my relationships, but you can tell them small little things, but they're not there. They're on the outside looking in. So they don't know everything that's really going on in a relationship. So those little small things, it makes that person that you're with, it can make that person look bad in their eyes because they don't know, again, they're on the outside looking in. So yeah, I agree.
Okay. Like I know you guys are speaking from husband and wife, but make sure you guys tap into if you're dating, because sometimes you may involve the family when it comes to vetting, or one may argue that you should include the family a little bit more when it comes to vetting. But speak from all angles, just so the people that's watching can kind of get an understanding how you feel before marriage and maybe into the marriage. I'm gonna go ahead and go to you, Nika. What are your thoughts about it?
I'm gonna go ahead and agree. I think your support system can be your ultimate sabotage, sadly. And I think what we just talked about with Will and Jada, I think, is a good example of two people who at one point were each other's support system to some degree, and sounds like their downfall is a result of them both. Um, but I think, what I think about with that statement is like, with your partner, let's just, whether you're dating or, anyone who you're dating or you're married to, you trust, there's a level of trust. You're telling secrets, and they have the ability, if things go bad, which I've been in a situation where I was in love and things went bad. They have that ability to flip the script on you, to expose you, to particularly if we're talking about a court situation where there's kids involved. I mean, there's a lot of dirty, nasty, mean things that can come out of that. And I think about that even, this idea of having a child with someone, but not even talking to the actual person that you had the child with. And think about how often that happens, where you have like a child exists. So at some point, you guys were support enough to create that child, and then that same situation can at some point become your ultimate, that person can become your ultimate enemy. So yeah.
All right, go ahead, Marcus.
So I heard a story. It might have been Grant Cardone, maybe it wasn't him. That was talking about think about the 5 people that you go to when me and you are having an issue, right? The 5 people that I go to are men, and they're going to take the opposite side and see what I did wrong and tell me the opposite. If the 5 people you go to are telling you that you're right, those people are sabotaging the relationship. They're not providing any prospect of balancing the equation. They're hearing a one-sided story and not even taking it into context. Maybe there's more to this. They're just siding with you because they feel that's a way of support. What you'll find is sometimes people be jealous of you and in competition with you, right? So they don't even want to see you in that relationship to begin with. They might have been your best friend, and now you don't go to the club with them no more. Now you don't hang out because you gotta, you in the house booed up, right? It's cuffing season, and now they have nobody and they are lonely. And because of that, they love you so much they want to keep you to themselves. So they'll sabotage it on purpose out of their own selfishness, right? Just getting advice from a support system that does not have the desired results you want. Now, people who don't have them can have good advice, but more often than not, you have to look at the intention behind that person. So they absolutely can be a sabotage, the biggest sabotagers.